Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We're actually starting on time. And welcome to yet another exciting episode of Those Natural Ones. Before we get started today, we have a couple quick announcements. The sponsor for tonight's episode is us, so join us on Patreon. Scott will tell you a little bit about that later. But thank you for everyone who helped us out with our Factor campaign over the last couple months. It did come to a close, sadly, so if you buy their delicious food, it doesn't help us anymore, but it helps you. Anyway, before we get started, next Friday, mark it on your calendar. Next Friday, what is that? I don't even know. The
28th.
28th, thank you. Next Friday, the 28th, mark it on your calendar for our in-person sitting around a real table right on the other side of that rolling real dice the way D&D was meant to be. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Whatever time zone you're in, just change it for that. Yeah, Scott, tell them about how else they can support us.
Well, Scott has the plague this week, so Arnon's going to tell him. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/thosenatural1s. Go and look at it. Thanks. No.
That was so in character. I was actually kind of shocked.
I just didn't drop any F or S bombs because, first 5 minutes. Yeah, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/thosenatural1s. There's lots of different levels to choose from. One of those is a weekly shout out. So once again, thank you for your continued support. Lesson Flora Marlat. Special thanks to our brand new patron, Rova Peters. With all of his interaction and binging his way through the first third or first quarter of our campaign, we really appreciate you signing up and all your interaction. Everybody else, check it out. Patreon.com/thosenatural1s. Base level access. Get on our Discord. See what we're sharing, even throughout the week.
Indeed.
Patreon.com/thosenatural1s.
Yeah, we've had a lot of interesting conversations on the Discord this week, and you too could be part of it if you subscribe to our Patreon.
You would know that I spent 60 of 72 hours of sleep.
Exactly.
Over the weekend.
Yeah. We actually, speaking of Rover, Rova, sorry, not Rover.
We were just talking about Doctor Who dogs.
We
so.
were.
Yep.
And I think that's a reference. I don't know. I've never seen it. But we do need a new name for the new studio. He called it Stream Daddy Studios. We haven't been in Stream Daddy Studios for about a year and a half now. So we need a new name for our studio. So let's think of something there. But Emery, where else can they find us and help us and support us?
Oh, when you're not supporting us by signing up for our Patreon, which if you're a real one like Rova, why aren't you doing that right now? You can always support us by tuning in every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Daylight, whatever the time is, on YouTube and on Twitch and occasionally other platforms, but those two you can definitely count on. You can also interact with us on Blue Sky, on Facebook, and with our very own Butch on Butch's blog on Tumblr.
That's right. Tumblr's not dead. Tumblr's still around, and Butch is there ready to answer your questions. Ask questions. Butch will answer them to the best of his ability. And if you ask special questions, you will get special answers with secret knowledge. Secrets. Real, actual, maybe accurate secrets.
We can't tell you whether or not they'll be true secrets, but they'll be true in the eyes of Butch.
Butch speaks his own truth, and that's admirable.
Yes, you can find Butch's truth on Butch's blog on Tumblr.
Just search for Those Natural Ones on Tumblr.
So if you haven't been on Tumblr in a while, it got a major facelift that I just recently discovered. And look at it. Look at our page on Tumblr.
It's nice, and more importantly, we're on it.
Yeah.
You can, for those of you who are listening to the audio-only podcast form, you can continue to find our episodes every place that podcast episodes are spread out into the universe. Do always remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and make sure that when you do, you hit all and not personalize, so that way you never miss an episode. If you are watching us on Twitch and you have a Twitch Prime, if you have Twitch Prime, you can send a little of oligarch Bezos's money our way and drain his pockets a little bit by clicking the button to choose us as your free Twitch Prime subscription, which you get one of every single month.
Speaking of, thanks, Chris, for re-upping your sub there.
Thank you, Chris.
Nailed it.
Yes, share. For the love of God, share, comment, tell your friends. Any and all engagement helps us out a ton.
Indeed. Thank you, Emery, and thank you for everyone who is interacting with our streams and our videos. I think that is everything. So, Sam, let them all know what happened. Yeah, what happened last week?
This Sam?
That's Sam.
Okay.
No,
Sorry, Sam's not here right now.
No.
Oh, yes. Anywho. So recovering from the battle, we met Holmwood, the mysterious archer, who aided us in the battle against the Crimson Ball. He was another person with a vendetta against Strahd. The list is growing. He stated that he was stuck in Barovia and was doing his best to survive as it had reappeared in the material plane, and coincidentally smashed a whole settlement that was there when it, that happened to be there after it disappeared the first time. Cool. He claimed that Strahd returned with the mists, and Barovia once again disappeared from the valley in the settlements it had crushed in its reappearance. So now there's just ruins there and no Barovia. What? We explained the situation with Titivilus, his goals, and Strahd's service to him. Holmwood provided us with a sending stone to contact him when we're ready to go up against Strahd again. We explained to Rain and Calliope, who both survived, yay, how we tried to catch up with them all and eventually faced off with it. Calliope reached out to Casil, who explained about the widening crack in the sky near Torchiv, raining fire on the city. We told them the crack seemed to originate around the capital, and Hymir believed it was a symptom of the planes colliding. Casil said they'd be coordinating their forces with the dwarves to rally against Torchiv, or rally for Torchiv, to take it back. Calliope shared that it would take a few days for the armies to reach that place, so we would have time to recoup before meeting them there. Elric prepped the extra-dimensional mansion to allow us solid rest before moving forward toward Torchiv. We all convened in the bar area of the mansion, where Butch dodged unseen servants and acted as barkeep. Orpheus attempted to make peace with the raccoon, and then later confided in Elric about the cost of the items he was given to trap Titivilus. Strahd taunted Elric via telepathy, and I think, in his brain, and Elric responded in kind before returning to the bar area with Orpheus. Arnon introduced Miss Swiss to Rain. We rounded out the session with the party taking a moment of respite in the mansion.
Indeed. Thank you for that. So let's get some music playing here and pick up there. Is there anything else you all wanted to do before taking your long rest?
I have something.
Sure.
So there's a book.
There is a book
that we sort of pulled from the original spot where we encountered my father. And I want to finally take a look at it.
Are you... Okay. Sure. So give me a second. I got to bring it into... Oh my God, this is being extremely slow. Give me just a second to get this imported. So you pull out this book. This... where did it go? You pull out this book, and it looks like an ancient, like, black leather tome with kind of this intricate scroll work throughout it. And then nailed to the front cover is what appears to be a humanoid tongue, disembodied tongue, with a large, like, rudimentary, like, square-edged spike nail just slammed right through it, nailing it to this.
Is it a meat tongue?
It is a meat tongue, yes.
Yeah, against my better judgment, I'm going to ritually cast Identify on it.
Okay, so
I swear he said he was going to lick it.
you're. So
Is
you
anyone
wanna,
else in the room?
I think I would have done that in the study, and I would
Okay.
not have been particularly secretive about me going to that room.
So let me ask you a question. Would you have opened the book and tried to look through it before casting Identify, or would you have just... Would you, like, flip through the pages, or would you just cast Identify without opening the book first?
If I recognize that there's a tongue on the outside, the first thing I'm doing is identifying it.
Okay. So why does it say unidentified name? That's kind of cool.
It's like, this is what it's called if you don't cast the
No,
spell.
I didn't realize that there's a button, a little toggle switch on the item sheet for unidentified. All right, let me go ahead. As you ritually cast Identify, let me go ahead and move this book into your inventory.
The fear that I'm experiencing could not be higher.
Did it move? Is it there?
I think it moved.
Let me know once you've dragged and dropped it.
I have. It didn't work. Let me try it again.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. It actually popped up with the thingy this time. All right. There you go. It should be in your inventory now. It automatically attuned to it. No, don't attune to it yet. All right.
Yeah, no. Okay. So as I'm working the magic of the Identify spell and the knowledge of what this is comes to me, I immediately drop it. What the hell was he doing with this?
Everyone needs something to read before bed.
I'm going to, in the study, place that book tongue up on a desk.
Where's this going?
I was going to say, what else are you planning on doing with that book?
Send your lewd fan art.
No.
He slowly pulls his robe above his knees.
God,
It's going full Gwyneth Paltrow.
this is not. Save that for your Tumblr post that you can post on Butch's blog.
Welcome to the chat, Gabriel Ramirez.
Hey.
What a time to enter the chat.
Oh, God. Okay, so I put the book with a tongue on it down on the desk, and then I leave that room and look for literally anybody else.
Let's see, where did we leave everyone else?
We were all
Where
in
am I?
You were
The
still in
bar
the
area.
You were
bar.
in the bar.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely enjoying my
Probably
meat
just-
Sundays,
You could probably just go back and find us all right there.
which has like 5 meat Sundays laid out in front of him. He's trying to convince Arnon to have a second one.
I'm then going to, like, as I hear everyone doing what they do after having killed a vampire dragon. Everyone,
Yes?
Yes.
I've made a discovery. All of you need to meet me in the study right now.
Can I bring my flagon of ale?
Put that down.
Butch puts down one of his flagons.
As we're all walking out, I'm
gonna have to
definitely
settle for that.
going to take a meat sundae with me, but just I trail behind a little bit.
Roll. You're trying to hide the meat sundae, or?
I'm trying to trail behind a little bit so Elric doesn't explicitly see me take it,
Okay,
but I
that's fair.
definitely am taking it.
Go ahead and roll a sleight of
I'm gonna
hand
be
just in case.
shoving the extra tacos in my pocket, so I've got pocket tacos.
How about a dirty 20?
Okay. Elric, go ahead and roll a just perception check for me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's a 14. Yeah, you don't see Gwen sneak a meat sundae from and
I
What about
see no-
Ember's pocket tacos?
I see nothing and I drink to forget.
there you go.
That's
Attaboy.
fair.
So, you all follow Elric to the study.
What I'm about to tell you could very well change the course of what happens.
What happens in general?
In terms of winning the war.
Jeez. Is this card related, Elric?
Did someone sneak in here?
Against all odds, no, this is not card related, and no one snuck in here.
Okay.
Does this have to do with your dad's weird sex toy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Your
Is it
robes say
that one?
otherwise.
I'm gonna point at the book.
God. What's happening to Rhett may very well be connected to this book.
Orpheus is now very alert.
Is
That
that
Rhett's tongue.
That's not. Oh my God. Okay.
No, wait, hold on.
Vecna's tongue?
Can you remind me what exactly is going on? I know Rhett has like affixed to herself the eye of Vecna and the hand of Vecna. Does that mean
Is
that
the tongue of Vecna?
This is the book of. Typically referred to amongst wizard circles as the Tome of the Stilled Tongue. This is one of the 5 tomes of Vecna.
Wait, so the
Okay.
tongue
Is
doesn't
that
move?
his tongue?
It's
The-
not supposed to move.
Yeah, the tongue does not move as you guys are having this
It's-
conversation.
Wait,
Very-
wait, wait.
very
I
much
still haven't
affixed.
asked my damn question. Is Rhett Vecna?
Hopefully not yet.
Okay. Is Rhett like an avatar of like is Vecna a deity now?
Whatever it is that's happening with Rhett and the pieces of Vecna that she's taken upon herself, still in one way, shape, or form remains to be seen, other than that she's taken them.
Okay. Now, I've just learned by way of you that there are 5 other books parts. Does this mean we're possibly dealing with a cult of Vecna?
I've yet to
something
hear anything of a
more
cult
advanced.
being
I'm
raised
gonna-
from this, but
Poke the tongue with
Vec-
my fork. All this
Vecna-
conversation is happening.
I slap your hand. Or I slap your
Why are you
fork.
eating a meat sundae with a fork?
That's her
Clearly a
stabby
spoon
fork.
job.
That's her
Because
stabby
she doesn't
fork.
have claws.
That's my special stappy fork I keep in my boot.
That's not an eating fork.
That was,
But I do.
Destroy it, Elric.
that was the Arnon
Poke it.
fork.
Does anything happen when I poke it
You poke it, and it's a
with
little.
my fork?
I mean, it feels a little squishy, like poking somebody in the arm slightly, but
So if I'm like poking it with the fork, I'm gonna like poke it with my finger.
ugh, gross.
Gwen,
Does
Maybe-
anything happen
No,
when I
nothing-
poke it with my finger?
Nothing
Okay.
happens, but it's definitely not a natural sensation.
Hey,
that you
I,
feel.
I rolled a d2 on whether or not Gwen was resisting the urge to touch it,
Gwen,
and she failed.
Are
Yeah.
you gonna lick it?
Is
see if it likes gravy.
do
is the
not,
t-
do
If it's
not
hungry.
pour
It reacts to
anything on
to
this
taste.
book.
does it look preserved? Is it moist?
It's still fleshy.
Is it dry?
It's still.
It's still fleshy.
Yeah, it is desiccated though. It does look dried out, but you touch
Definitely
it
need some
and
gravy there.
you touch it and it does feel like it still has a little bit of give to it. Like it's not fully mummified, but it's definitely dried out in the process of.
It's spongy, Butch. It's not right.
We should
I
destroy
like
it,
it.
Elric.
Before we get to that,
It's
Gwen,
jerky. It's tiny
first-
jerky.
maybe clean your fork and your finger.
Show my like dirty ass fingers. Do I have to worry about? Because, am I gonna get infected by it?
I don't know. This is uncharted
Maybe
territory.
after what his dad did with it.
That's the
I'm gonna
other
go wash my
thing
hands.
that we need to
I'll be back, guys.
maybe reconcile in terms of this book and what's happening with Rhett. My father had this in his possession, and we're all very aware of his current state.
That is true. He's a lich.
As was Vecna.
Oh, that's right. Wait, does that mean Red is a lich too now?
Again,
Dad have books?
someone having taken into themselves both of those parts is uncharted territory. One part is dangerous
Oh.
enough.
Orpheus is
liches,
prepping
like-
a firebolt as you speak.
Are liches solitary or do they have like
Travel.
get-togethers?
Like
Apparently
LichCon
not.
2024.
Lichkan.
At the very least,
Okay,
my
right.
father as a lich didn't mind commanding his own army.
At least LichCon has an excuse to stink.
Oh,
Hey,
That's, I mean, shots fired.
Been there, done that.
imagine a LichCon is more like a fire festival, honestly.
oh my God, fire!
Utter
Festival.
disaster.
Assuming nobody's noticed the firebolt preparation and dissuaded Orpheus, he's gonna shoot it at the book.
I'm going
Wait,
to
Orpheus.
say, no, wait.
Or
This
can we
might
learn something
also-
from this to help her?
That's the other thing. According to what I've been able to discover about this book, if history's correct, Vecna watches anyone using this tome and can write cryptic messages in it.
Weird.
Given that, as far as history shows, Vecna is still dead, this might be a way of communicating with Rhett.
Does he see through the book or like around the book?
As far as I know, any and all communication is in writing, in script.
Then maybe we
Can
can
we
use this book
draw?
to lure her out. Isolate her.
That's what I'm thinking.
We draw in the book.
This book is, as much as I know, still a very big unknown. Let's not risk ourselves further by doing strange things to this book.
But you said he could see through the book? Is that what you said?
It says
Or
Vecna
communicate through.
watches anyone using
Watches.
this tome.
So does that mean he like he scries on the book or he sees through the book or what?
Can I make an some kind of Arcana check
Sure.
to try to discern the difference?
Absolutely.
Okay. Arcana.
I'm really just trying to figure out what he saw when your dad sat on it.
God damn it.
I don't think he actually sat on the book.
Oh my god, I hate that dice so bad. Because to me, that looked like it was going to be a natural 1, but it was in a 23.
Thank you, dice.
That fucking purple leopard print is impossible to read. It's like
Oh, I got like
it's a-
bronze on this side.
oh, I had
Yeah, I saw
I got the purple leopard print one, and it was like the epitome of an Ashley Johnson dice. Is that a 1? No, that's a 12. No.
Is that a 3?
No, it's an 11. Those don't even look alike. Anyway, with a 23, you can't be certain how Vecna watches the owner of this book, but you get the sensation that the magic properties are similar to a scrying spell. Like this is a permanent fixed object of his gaze, and he can potentially see the user, at least. Whether or not he sees around, like to the immediate vicinity, you're not sure.
Gotcha. Okay.
Does it say owner of the book or user?
User.
Yeah,
Any-
anyone using this tome.
Elric, does it require attunement?
For the special abilities that it offers, yes.
What are the special abilities that it offers?
Well, apart from it serving as an arcane focus,
It gives you the skin creep feeling.
it very specifically lets you cast a spell while holding the tome, you can use a bonus action to cast a spell that you have written in this tome without expending a spell slot or using any verbal or somatic components.
Oh my god. So
Once
how bad
you-
is it? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say that, as far as I can tell, you can do this once a day.
Wonder if it's safe to assume your father's attuned to it at the moment. Curious
Most
to know
likely.
if the scrying feature would only happen in his presence.
Does attunement survive death?
Gotta let's truly die.
It's only
Attunement,
mostly dead.
surviving death is not something I've studied, but I know what attunement doesn't survive.
Someone
You
else.
have to
Someone else attuning to it.
You have to die to be undead.
I mean,
Yeah.
technically that's true.
Orpheus pulls out his bag of holding. Do you think
Right,
we should
Gwen?
isolate it for now?
For now.
Orpheus very carefully kind of maneuvers it, doesn't touch the book with his actual hand, just uses the bottom of the bag to kind of
I have a mage
under the
hand.
table.
As you
So
do
does
that,
Ulrich.
It's like 3 different mage hands show up to like assist.
as you do that, it the book slides harmlessly into the bag of holding.
Great.
Where I thought that was going. That was a pleasant surprise. Elric, is there like
I cast
other
Gene
than
Simmons.
being scried on by? Well, hold on. Who can see the person attuned to this?
Vecna.
So Vecna now, if someone attunes to this, can see that person?
If Vecna were active, and by that I mean not thoroughly dealt with, That's the assumption.
So
I'm
there's
willing to bet
no-
Rhett can do it.
Unless Rhett can do it, there's really no. Which she already looked back at a scry, so like she's already got some wild shit going on. But does that mean there aren't any super bad downsides to using it?
I know what you're thinking, and no.
I just thought, I mean, we can try. I would be willing to risk life and tongue.
What are you wanting to try?
To use it.
You want to use the book?
Oh, no.
That's the other issue, is that it's only usable by wizards.
Oh, so you gotta use it. If you were to.
And I am very, I think understandably, hesitant to do so. Keep it in the bag for now.
Just tucks the bag away.
When we plan on confronting and dealing with Rhett, then we bring it out.
That tongue better not touch my fruit.
Do they float?
I can neither confirm nor deny whatever that tongue's going to touch in that bag.
Do those items float in a general space, or do they each have their own space?
You would know enough of Arcana and enough of how the bag of holding works that it's nothing like collides inside the bag of holding. It's basically just almost like you have to think of the object you want to pull out to pull it out.
Yeah.
So everything's kind of in its own little weird pocket dimension. Nothing is really able to touch in there.
Like, I wonder if there's like a Long BN CSI department that scries on like the book, and then they can see the other stuff in your bag and figure out who you are.
Oh, shit.
Rhett can visit her old arm.
Oh no.
Wow, these people must know Rhett.
Oh my god, dude. It's just now occurring to me that we still have her regular arm.
Yeah, I'm assuming because Sam said at the beginning when you first found it that she was going to continuously cast gentle repose on it. I'm assuming that's still happening, and that the arm just isn't slowly decaying inside of your bag.
Well, there's no air in there, so would it decay?
That's a fantastic question.
Might
I don't know
desiccate.
that the troll dick did it, and
That could be the rule of cool, though.
that's
so
true. That is true.
Nothing cooler than a desiccated troll dick, right?
That's fair.
Oh no, why?
We're gonna say that Gwen has been continuously casting on it to keep it fresh.
Conveniently.
I'm pretty sure it lasts like a week too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
We conveniently
it shouldn't be an
remember
issue.
every time.
Yeah.
When you miss a week, does it like all catch up, or does it just
Well,
start
we
regular
haven't
decay?
ever missed a week, so
I
I'll
think
never know.
But to answer your
Okay.
question, I'm pretty sure it just starts at that point.
All right.
She sets alarms on her sending stones, so she doesn't forget.
This sending stone has an alarm setting.
So, as Orpheus, you resecure the bag to yourself. The book now temporarily tucked away. What are you all doing?
Nighttime, yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Probably.
Actually, what time is it currently?
We'll say, because you guys went through that battle and went to rest, and it was still fairly early in the morning, but we'll say that through the course of everything that you've been doing in the mansion and everything, it's you're getting close to nighttime at this point.
In that case, I'm going to do one more thing to brood and get my feelings out. I'm going to go to the music room.
Okay.
Is there an organ?
Are you going to start?
Phantom of the Opera?
No, he's going to start playing Welcome to the Black Parade and push his hair over his left eye.
I really
You're
thought
never gonna
Elric would
understand
be
me,
like a
DM.
theremin guy.
Was
Yeah.
Rain and the General with us
Yes, they are.
for that review?
Yes, they are.
Quinn would be about to scurry off with Rain.
Fair enough.
Orpheus is gonna go drink himself under the table.
General kind of comes up and is like, that seems like a very good idea. I could stand a few dozen drinks at this point.
Easier to do while we're still alive.
Just kind of
Cheers.
Enjoy
Yeah,
yourselves.
cheers.
I'm gonna go meditate next to the oversized aviary / monkey cage.
I don't know what I'm going to keep in there, but I'm sure going to keep it.
Owlbears?
Hey,
Maybe.
that's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Wait, where did Gwen go?
Who?
Gwen?
She
Gwen
was
went to be with
Went
Rain.
off with Rain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
scurrying off with Rain to enjoy the fact that neither one of them is dead yet.
It's a good feeling.
Well, Ember, I guess we're drinking.
Let's do it. Let's get the raccoon drunk.
Okay.
So, an evening of drinking and debauchery and celebrating the fact that you're all still alive and loud emo music coming from the music room. Tonight will be the night that I would fall for you. Sorry.
It's just Justin Bieber.
No. Not that. Never that.
Never say never.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to say never all I want.
We'll go ahead and say the evening comes and goes. You all arise next morning feeling rested. You can take your long rest. Now,
Can you re-import my character sheet since I've chosen new spells?
I can,
That would be good.
since Foundry's being weird. Tonight will
We love
be
you, Foundry.
the night when I would fall for you over
Listen.
again.
I'm not worried about copyright strikes, but rep strikes.
Okay, that's fair.
Let's keep the rep strikes to a minimum.
All right, so it should be fully updated here in just
Thank
a
you.
second. It's still finalizing, but
That's fine.
there it
Also,
goes.
look forward to our cover band, Those Natural Strums,
Oh,
coming to you. A bar near you.
All right, so the next morning comes. What are you all doing?
I'm gonna guess Butch is getting breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Easy enough.
definitely making my way down to wherever Butch is making breakfast.
Orpheus is nursing a headache.
As is Calliope, and then she like rolls over and she's like, "Oh, what the fuck time is it? It's impossible to tell what time it is in this weird mansion thing." Looks over and she's like, "Oh, all right. Well, either way,
There's a clock like in every room.
yeah. Either way, we
Each
should.
clock is different.
Yeah. Casil is mobilizing the forces. They will be on their way to Torchiv now. Are you... What's your plan? Are we going to meet them? Or did you have a better option?
I prepared all my divination spells to gather information for you guys.
If we're going in, we should make sure that we're not going in blind.
And then once we have a plan, we should probably let everybody else know with ascending. Ideally, if we can infiltrate silently before the main forces arrive, as we've done in the past, that may be the best bet.
We ought to scry on Torchiv before we enter the town proper.
Sounds like a very valid, very good idea.
Well, I do have a giant crystal ball.
That is why I brought that up.
Okay. What do you want to look at? The building that we know really well?
There is the central, keep in the center of Torchiv that you guys spent quite a bit of time at. The one that was very similar to the one in Castellatri that you had many meetings in, and Rain actually parked the Nerissa when it was still outfitted as a skyship. Basically used it as almost like a skyport.
Just, I can choose a location. Yep.
So.
But when I choose a location, I cannot move where the sensor appears. So, shall I scry above the keep? Or the, whatever it is?
Above, if you can.
Sure.
Camera mechanics are all whack.
Magic.
It's like a video game from the 90s. You can't adjust the camera.
Scroll out.
Oh, I'm apparently dead.
Oh yeah, that's a glitch sometimes when you import. It imports you as dead.
Awesome. Should I fix that with a long
Not
rest?
at all.
Just a glitch.
There you go. Yep.
There you go. Long rest fixed it.
There
I'm
you
not
go.
dead anymore.
Yay.
That's the best thing for being dead. Good sleep.
Good sleep.
Funny thing is, you have to wake up first.
All right. So
while he's doing that, I'm going to cast a contingency spell.
okay. What's your contingency? Or what's
My
your trigger?
Okay. Contingency spell is. We're going to make it mirror image.
Okay.
And the trigger is me activating my blade song.
Fantastic. Wizard tank. All right. And Butch, you are scrying. Are you scrying over the keep of Torchiv?
Yes, facing out into the city.
Okay. So the keep, as you remember, is kind of in the central part of the city. So we can say that you kind of scry above,
so I can
and
spin
kind of
around.
give like a 360 view. As you focus in on your crystal ball, you're kind of looking and you see the cracks, the imperfections deep inside of this crystal from just the natural mining process and the fact that the no crystal is 100% perfect. You're sitting there and you're kind of staring deep into this ball as those cracks, as you've seen before, start elongating and opening. There's one specific crack that seems to go right through the center, and probably, in all reality, only about an inch or two long and kind of jagged, but as you focus in and that magic takes hold, that crack seems to spread from hitting both ends and elongating throughout the entirety before separating into a dark like cavernous void that just draws and pulls your attention in deeper as it flows into this vacuous space inside of this before emerging, flying above the ruined city of Torchiv. You notice at first the darkness that you believe is just a byproduct of the scrying spell before you realize that it is in fact ash and clouds blotting out the sky. Looking around, and you can still see that crack running over from, it would be kind of southwest towards to northeast, slowly getting smaller the farther out, flames and like small flaming meteors kind of slowly drifting out of this crack. Looking down towards the ground, you see rivers of molten rock carving their way through what were once city streets that you walked down. Courtyards that you remember walking through and watching citizens walk past, and vendors selling fruits from their carts, now cones of volcanic glass and sulfurous rock jutting up as lava boils out of the top, engulfing what were once tree-lined streets of Torchiv. All around you see black volcanic stone, almost engulfing the entirety of this place, and canals of molten rock. You see your vision almost distorted by heat waves as the just sheer heat from this sudden and dramatic environmental change distorts the air around, and you see clouds of ash and dust and soot billowing from these volcanic mouths. Steam vents piping up through what were once bakeries that you frequented or shops that you purchased items at.
Cabbage cart.
Yeah.
You
Yep,
guys
which
really
is
upset about the lava.
which is describing all of this. So essentially everything Nick just said is what Butch said.
No, Butch, you've got to click and drag with your mouse wheel to move the camera around.
God damn it.
I'm trying.
I know, you got big fingers. It's hard.
Is he able to hear anything as he's scrying?
No, it's
Only visual?
yeah, you can either do a visual or an auditory medium. I don't think you can do both.
Right.
Do you have to have the physical sense to do it? Like, could a blind person do a visual scry?
That's a good question.
Question that I don't think we have an answer for.
Go ahead,
It's really
Butch.
ableist.
Actually, Butch, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. All right. It's my passive perception because I rolled a 10.
That's fine. 15 is still good enough. As you're looking through this scry and you're seeing all of these images of this volcanic landscape, suddenly you start seeing creatures walking through the streets. There's, at first you see these writhing flames, flame elementals walking through from one street, through the courtyards, across the lava flows. You look a little bit further and you see what, at first glance, you mistake them for dwarves with bronze skin, before you look a little closer and realize that their hair is actually engulfed in fire. Their beards flicking flames left and right, carrying what appear to be war hammers also wreathed in flame. Then you're looking out a little bit farther and you see giants of also dark bronze skin, flicks of flames flicking off of them, kind of marching through the streets as well. All of these seeming like small battalions doing maneuvers or making rounds throughout the streets. Then you look over towards, coming up towards the keep, surrounded by a group of about 8 of those flaming dwarves. You see people, humans, elves in chains, soot across their face, being led in towards the keep. Villagers, citizens of Torchiv at one point, being led in chains.
Oh boy.
How bad is it, Butch?
Oh, Butch is, again, he's told you everything that Snake's been saying.
Okay.
Because that's the easiest. Easiest way to do it.
Express lane.
How are we supposed to survive that?
General, there doesn't happen to be a stock of potions of fire resistance still in town, are there?
Well, we're not really in a town right now, so even if we had some, I'm
Right.
not sure if we would have the time to go get them or not.
Nick, what do I roll to recognize what those fire dwarves are? Is that Arcana or religion? If they're extra planar.
They would be, they would be more extra planar. So, I mean, you can.
I mean, I knew what a Efreeti was, so
Yeah, you can go ahead and do a history check, actually.
Okay.
Doesn't matter because that's a natural 1.
Yeah, history's not Butch's nothing in history.
Well, it doesn't really matter because no matter what you would have rolled, it would have been a natural 1.
Yep.
You've never seen flaming dwarfs before.
Sure.
Turns out the, 17-year-old mesh turtle doesn't know anything about the fire people.
Big shock.
Wait a minute.
would you like to ask the guy who told you what an Efreeti was?
Well, I described all of this just as Nick did.
I mean, you can roll a history check if you would like. This would not be at an advantage.
Yeah, Butch is like, I don't know what those are.
21.
21. So one of the books that you read at one point, if I remember correctly, you picked up a couple books very early on about the different planes and denizens of the different planes and everything. These, you can't be sure because you didn't see them yourself, but through Butch's description of dwarves with wreathed in flame, the first thing that comes to your mind is
Ghost Rider dwarfs.
yeah, no, they're called Cage. Nicholas Cage. No,
Don't define an entire series by that man.
true. Azer or Azer. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. It's Azers or Azer, Azer, which are literally
Which those are flaming dwarfs.
Azer.
yeah. They're
They're what dwarves?
Flaming dwarfs.
which you know of as denizens of the fire plane.
Also known as Azers.
Azers.
Yeah.
I have a spell capable of conjuring one of those.
Isn't that what elves used to cut their hair?
Azer?
No, that's a taser.
That's not.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If they're anything like the Azers that I'm able to summon, one of them wouldn't be too difficult to handle, but multiple of them could be a bit of a problem.
And Butch, you can tell
Getting
from
close
your
to them can get.
But you can tell from your vision that, or your scry, that those seem to be. Will you stop barking? Those seem to be
Hey, it wasn't
like
me this time.
the main like foot soldiers and the bulk of the army. But then you also saw the fire elementals and the fire giants and a few other kind of reptilian-looking, almost salamander-esque creatures, and a handful of other things, but those were the biggest ones. Hold on one second.
Cool.
Cool. So,
Wonderful.
Elric, what's that spell you have that creates a whole lot of cold?
Do you mean Sleet Storm?
Yeah, that's the one. Do you think that might be helpful?
That's helpful for making an environment that has ice in it, whether or not it is capable of dousing or diminishing their power. I have no idea.
I don't know. Just spitballing.
Yeah. Honestly, that staff that Gwen has might be able to do something with that as well.
Good.
Between Sleet Storm and my Ray of
Ice.
Frost, that's pretty much all I've got.
I can do Ice Storm, Cone of Cold, Fog Cloud, and Wall of Ice.
We're
I
probably
can do
going
Dragon's
to
Breath
go
with
it.
ice. Also have Remy's or Rhymes binding ice.
Remy's.
That's good.
Remy in your hat.
Mixed up my names there.
Like any and all ice and water spells that we could use.
We should also prep any kind of resistance spells if we have any. I have protection from energy, but I can only use it on one person at a time.
Yeah, it's a concentration. 2.
Arnon, I could charge your spell ring with it.
I'm not using that anymore. Yeah. Stopped using that.
I have Absorb Elements, but it really only helps me.
Do you have anything other than your flame tongue scimitar left? May not be the most appropriate weapon.
Yeah, I got my rapier.
Wait a minute. I go into my pack and I pull out the Frost brand scimitar.
Ooh.
Okay. I mean, I can trade you for that. Or use
Yeah, if
that.
you don't have any resistance magic, you'll probably want to use this.
Okay.
And
you.
yeah, when you attune to it, you do just straight up get resistance to fire damage when you're holding it.
Well, that's nice, yeah.
That's very nice.
I could also do something like Wall of Water. I mean, any fire attack that passes through the wall is gonna not be as strong.
Right. I have a spell that'll basically render me immune to fire, so I'll be fine.
What's the name of that sword?
I could also
Frostbrand Scimitar.
give one person resistance to fire damage for an hour. It's also the only thing I could concentrate on. No water wall in that instance.
If we're being assaulted with fire, then
I'll put
that
it
spell
in
could
your.
literally save one of our lives.
I'll put it in
Yeah.
your pack. Do you have it on? Yeah, there it is. Frostbrand Scimitar.
Yeah.
All right, it should be in your inventory, Arnon.
Thank you.
This place sounds like a horrible place on this plane. Perfect place to go next, right? That seems to be our MO.
General, are you... I don't want to assume, but are you resistant against fire magic at all?
Let me double check, but I believe so.
Breathes fire on herself.
She's still a little hungover.
Hold on a second.
That's fair.
Yes, I
I
see.
meant to... Yeah, I'm fine.
Nick, it's been 2 days since I used the Staff of Healing, so it should be fully charged, right? Because
Yeah.
it regains 1d6 plus 4 daily at dawn.
Yes. So yeah, it should be.
Okay. I think it's been 2 days.
Dylan. I spit hot fire.
The hottest.
How the hell? I still can't figure out in Foundry where the wait there it is, resistant. Yes, I am. Fire damage does not hurt me as much as it does normal people, due to my well, you can tell.
We apparently have an 8th level spell that can make it rain.
Is it called?
Oh my gosh.
Strippers?
Should be
I think it's called Champagne Room.
called Control Weather.
That would help us a lot.
Well, Nick,
It's got a casting time of like 10 minutes though.
yeah, that's an out of combat spell.
Yeah.
Which is going to actually
Cast that before
unattune to
we
the
enter.
Guardian Emblem
Oh shit!
for the first time since, I think, our first episode.
Yeah, you've been attuned
my
to
God.
it ever since. Oh, there's Ember. I was like, where is
Yeah.
Ember?
How long does it last, Ember?
Probably sleeping under the table again. It lasts. It's concentration up to 8 hours.
Nice.
How
For
big
5
of an area is
miles.
it?
5 miles.
We could use that just before the forces arrive.
Yeah.
You have to be
Absolutely.
outdoors to cast the spell, and you can't move like where you're inside.
Then
Is
if you're
the-
going to cast that, we should be guarding you to make sure it works.
Sam.
I'm gonna
Can you-
attune.
Send me the item info for the Wilderness Keeper ring because it's a blank loot item on my page.
Oh, balls. Okay.
I was like, that's got to do something, and I can't remember what it is.
It's blank?
Yeah, it's just listed as loot, and it just says loot. It doesn't have like
Nice.
item information.
Oh my god. All right.
Is it +1 loot?
have +1 to looting.
I gotta remember where it was.
+1 to music when playing the lute.
I'm tuning to the Frostbrand Scimitar while I eat my beet salad.
Okay.
Butch is going to be Staff of Healing, Ring of Evasion. And I don't think he's ever going to unattune from the Glove of Divine Light because it's a gift from the goddess.
Orpheus is, while this is all going on, Orpheus is going to cast his Find Familiar spell, bring back his hawk.
Fantastic.
Is that Stephen Hawk?
We don't talk about Stephen anymore.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Hey, Emery, can you remind me what the name of that ring actually was before we changed it?
Check your DM.
Oh, you got it? Hey. Sweet.
GM for the DM.
And it is not in that one. Shit.
Oh, check Melando's guide.
Melando. What the fuck's a Melando? Melando.
I will name this one Hawk Tua.
No!
Oh.
I love it.
Get out!
There it is.
Yes, yes,
All right,
yes, yes.
Sam,
Can't
it,
believe you.
it.
I spit on you.
Oops.
Hey, Butch, can you pass the mustard?
All right.
All right, go along.
It's in there, just under a different name now.
Okay, perfect. So
Let
I
me
can
see.
attune to this one and use it like it says.
Yes, I'm gonna see if I can
Okay.
change the.
Oh yeah, I haven't had a +1 bonus to my spell save DC for a while, apparently.
Yeah. All right. There you go. That's now correct.
This morning's breakfast.
Wait,
All right.
does that mean
Pancakes
mine is higher or my saves get a
cut
+1?
bacon, fatback. Some
Your
crispy
spell save
fried eggs.
DC. So, like, when you cast a spell, your DC for the NPC to resist it is 1 higher.
So it's
You need
20.
And crispy fried potatoes.
You need to re-import Ember too.
Oh, that's
Yes,
so
please.
cool.
All right. So, as you attune, you all are having this conversation, eating your crispy fried potatoes or whatever. What's the
Fried
taters.
what's the plan?
Try the fatback. It's real good.
It's been a while since I've watched Sling Blade. Hit me again.
Some people call Sling Blade.
Ain't got
I
no
call it
gas in it.
Kaiser Blade.
You want us to hit you again with the sling blade?
All right, Ember has
Not
been
like hit me with
re-imported.
the blade. Jesus.
So, what is the plan?
Thank you, sir.
I'm pretty sure that's what he does.
And it just not to me. It hit other people
All right.
with the actual blade.
Focus. What's the plan?
Well, don't we have a general here?
Okay.
And the general is asking you, what is the plan?
Okay.
Are we heading out towards Torchiv, or now that you've scryed, or what?
We need to contact the army, set up a
Question.
rendezvous point.
Question. Is it too late? Don't we have friends on the plane of water? Would they enjoy doing things to people, things from the plane of fire? Is that a thing?
Do you have time to
I think-
contact these people and get them here in the next day?
I don't know.
I don't think we have time for that.
But we've got the magic ship that flies around and does things.
Far
Maybe.
away from Torchiv.
Does one of us want to contact Captain Sid to see if he's not busy?
You guys are like
Oh, I couldn't.
you guys are like literally 50 miles north of Torchiv.
We need to move. Let's
I
contact.
don't know
the
how we're going
army.
to stop an army without. All right, so is the goal to take out the leadership and hope that the rest will follow?
Well,
Well,
like
our armies are on their way there.
yes,
Yes, but
the Dwarven army is approaching from the northeast as the Genazi and remaining Conticarian army is approaching from the southeast.
maybe we should set up the stormy weather or the rain where our army is arriving so that
Alex.
way our troops will be properly wet and less likely to catch fire.
Sorry, what?
Well, I'm thinking if our troops are properly soaked, then they'll be less likely to catch fire. From the, I don't know. I'm just
This would
stood
be
guard
the
on the
point.
wall and healed people.
This would be the point of casting control weather.
Right.
If we set up a rendezvous point, we can have all of the army and ourselves meet up to where, through control weather, we can make ourselves at least some kind of rain wet to resist fire, at least theoretically.
See, he gets it.
We'll need to position ourselves within 5 miles of the city.
Right.
Ideally, close to the center as possible.
Hey, Alex, thanks for
We
gifting
don't have
the
to position
sub.
all of
for-
ourselves there, just
Oh,
me.
sweet. Sub.
Yeah, Alex from Dungeon Dunces just gifted a sub to Katie's. I don't know something show. I can't read. Dyslexia. Sorry.
Cadesti show?
Cadesti show.
Cadesti show.
A
thanks.
Dusty show. Ah.
I can control weather, Alric.
Wait, so we have two? Two
The
controllers.
more the merrier. We're
Absolutely.
dealing with a fire across that entire town.
It is the highest level thing I can cast, so
Just a reminder also,
You do.
it's not just fire, it's active volcanoes. So you also have to.
Steam burns twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
You also have to
Yes, it
remember
does.
that you're not just like trying to douse a fire. You literally have a convergence of the planes where the entire fire plane is emerging underneath this town.
Hey,
Or
it
it's-
works for Superman. Okay, we'll just freeze a lake.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
all.
I can also make a tsunami if you guys wanted.
How far inland are we?
Magically, it
About
doesn't matter.
110 miles from the coast. There is a large river that's
Birds
about.
don't give a fuck.
There's a large river that runs about 20 miles to the east, north and south, and then there's a smaller river that's probably about another maybe 10 miles to the west, also running north and south. Well, kind of like northwest-ish.
Draining miles worth of a river seems a bit untenable.
I think you mean
Wait,
awesome.
why are we draining the river?
Yeah.
I said that's not what we should do.
Okay, cool.
But it would be
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, I can magically spring a 300 feet long, 300 foot high, 50 foot thick wall of water if we were to want to do that. It'll last
Okay,
about 36 seconds. Take.
And none of us have wrinkles after that.
So what you're saying is we should not dump a whole lot of water onto the active volcanoes. Because,
I
as
mean,
Arnon said, it'll burn twice. And it's not going to burn them, but it is going to burn
you
our
can
troops.
absolutely do whatever the hell you want. I just want to make it clear that you realize you're not just dealing with like a fire, but you're dealing with active volcanoes and steam vents and everything boiling up from the entirety of this town.
So we should maybe only douse our own troops with the water to give them some degree of protection from the heat.
I don't think they'd like being
that-
hit by a
That's
tsunami.
gonna work.
Okay.
I can control weather though. Like, I got some
I
storm going on.
think, in further thinking about it, if we're going to preserve our forces, lava being what it is, I think we're going to have to do what it is that we've done this whole time.
Yeah.
Cool the lava with a warm island song.
When have we done that? I want you to tell me when we've done that, Arnon.
We could
I thought you
we
could ask when
could
we
bring
fought.
we could bring a bunch of throw pillows. It always helps when we play the floor is lava.
Oh my gosh. We
Okay.
are a surgical strike team going behind enemy lines and handling the situation before the army has to deal with it. Or at least before the army has to march in and handle it themselves.
Okay, Nick, when I did my scrying, where did it seem that... Okay, Butch is military,
Yes.
so he may have noticed a location where troops... Trying to ask if he may have gathered any information about where we should do a surgical strike regarding the leadership.
I mean, you, with a 15 perception, you didn't really notice any places where troops were amassing so much, and it would be difficult to tell from that where, like, you would probably have to get closer and actually take a real look at the city to see, to get more of a vantage point and see the entirety of the city. Potentially, maybe speak with someone.
Okay, General. If you were the leader of an invading fire army in Torchiv, where would you set up shop?
I mean, when we ran, I mean, we have the fucking keep in the middle of the city. That's where we ran our operations from. That's where my command center was, in that keep, so...
Then I think it's to the keep we're going.
Yeah.
More than likely, that's probably where we're going to have to traverse directly into the fire plane itself to stop this. Unless you noticed a portal or a tear in the fabric of
I did not.
planes.
I mean, I saw lots of tears in the fabric of the planes in the sky, but
Can't
that
quite
doesn't
go
help
up
us.
there.
General, do we know what the commanding general of this force looks like? So we know who to target, what to target.
I mean, from what we heard was it was an Efreeti. That's all we know. We do not know what form it has taken. We haven't had eyes inside the city in a very long time.
What do you mean, what form it has taken?
I mean, Efreetis have some, from what I've know at least, have at least a small ability to change their appearance slightly, appear more humanoid and less like a giant fucking genie.
Oh,
right.
So,
In any case, we need to move.
indeed. The rest of the army will probably be showing up there tomorrow, so if we are going to make the distance, we need to probably start moving now.
Let me call Sid. Should I give him any coordination?
Sid would be back with the rest of the army. What is
Right,
it?
and he's traveling with the army to Torchiv, right?
Right.
We should probably let him
yes.
know that you're alive.
Yes,
and
yes.
that we're
I mean,
coming
we told Casil already, but yes, if you would like to
Yeah.
relay to your boyfriend, that would be great too.
Who said anything like that?
I could ask the Lunar Lady, the Mystic Seer, if how likely she thinks our success will be in locating the leader if we hit the
As you prepare,
keep.
as you prepare your sending to Sid, Captain Sid, and you discuss your divinations, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. I got to get my daughter in bed, so give us, it might be a little longer because my wife's out of town, so I'm playing single dad this week. So give us a few minutes. I'm going to try and get back here in 10 minutes. It might be a couple minutes longer, depending on if my preteen wants to actually go to bed or not. So wish me luck. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Good luck.
And we are back. So, thank you for sticking with us. Not too much longer than normal. What are you doing?
I think we're
Sending
probably
and
about to exit the.
Mining?
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
gonna
right.
divine.
You gotta send to the captain.
just a heads up, we might get a little
Divination.
buffering. My latency is real bad right now, but hopefully it'll kick back up here in a second. I apologize for any buffering on the stream. So, let's start with your sending to Captain Sid.
XOXO count as one word. Curious.
Hey.
Twirl your hair while you're at it.
Hey, quest
Retrieve.
accepted D&D rating with 9 people. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
Just in time
Let's
for
go.
this sending. All right. what are you sending?
Subscribe again, and you can dedicate my sending. Hey, retrieved General and Rain. Scried Torchiv. Hellscape covered with fire and lava.
You just made him come.
Oh no!
He's not going to hear.
Welcome,
You might as well
Raiders.
stop there. He's not going to hear the rest of the message.
You're welcome.
You just get a response back. Oh, no.
The first 12 words are just grunts.
I just hear the exhale, the slow exhale of a cigarette.
Yeah.
A slight shudder at the
Anyway, continue.
I think I've made a huge mistake.
end. Hear a lamp shut off.
God.
All right, I'm at 15.
Yeah, 10 more.
En route to rendezvous. Plan to infiltrate ahead of time. That's it.
Second goes by, and then in your head you hear, well, this sounds like fun. We're headed towards Torchiv now with the army. Rendezvous. What is that? 20 miles east in Bend, at Bend in Kati River. ETA tomorrow morning.
I relay that to the team.
Okay.
So at least we have a specific destination to start.
Sounds like they're going to set up a battle camp. I know this river bend that they speak of. We can meet up with the army
How long
there
will it
and
take us
plan
to
our
get there?
attack. If we leave now, if we make a swift pace, we could get there. We could probably get there by morning. But we would have to leave now, and we would have to travel very briskly, to say the least.
We're also still in potentially hostile lands. Maybe we should gaseous form.
I was just going to say, Elric, do you still have that ability to change people to gas for quick travel? Or was that you, Gwen?
I do have gaseous form, but I don't think it's.
I have Windwalk.
There
That's
it
the
is.
one.
That's one.
There.
Land walk.
Would that be able to
yeah.
Would that be able to get all 8 of us?
Let me check. Let's see. Up to 10. Like myself and up to 10, so 11 max.
That sounds perfect. I
Miss West?
believe that would probably be your best bet to not be sighted on our way there.
Right. Butch, were you going to do any divination?
Which is already seated crisscross applesauce or as best a turtle can, with its incense and sacrificial offering of a meat sundae. He's willing to give it up.
Hold on.
I'm kidding. That's not actually.
Before you do that, I do have to do a shout out to these people from the raid, specifically Quest Accepted D&D, and just because I want to say it, coming for that booty. Thank you for joining
Nice.
the chat.
You must have seen our pirates one shot.
Oh no.
Madvox 20, Dr. Drazkill, the Cuban, coming for that booty, Pseudo-Zonian, whatever it is. Nexall, thank you all for joining the chat.
I'm a little disappointed Ziggity Zooty is not
Ziggity
included in the
Zooty
chat.
coming for that booty. All right,
Coming for that booty.
going back to your divination as you light your incense and set up.
Butch is asking the mystics here the question: if we assault the keep in Torchiv, how successful will we be in locating the leadership of the invading army there?
This is divination that you're doing?
Yep. You're asked a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The Dungeon Master offers a truthful reply, but the reply may be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
So you ask basically, your question is, if you assault the keep in Torchiv, will you find the general? Correct? That's the basis of what your question is?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
So, as you focus in and harness that divine light, the divine silver moonlight, the world around you goes dark into a state of perpetual twilight. You find yourself sitting crisscross on this open field this shallow reflecting pool. Millions of stars in the sky, the singular crescent moon above shining what appears to be almost like a spotlight directly on you. As you open your eyes, you see it almost looks like an infinite reflection of stars between the sky and the water below, the dark mirror-like background of this reflecting pool that you are, sitting maybe an inch deep in. This familiar plane that you have conversed with your deity in the past. You sit there, you ask this singular question. A whisper on the wind comes back to you, sourceless. Hey, Zach Paglia, thanks for the sub. Going back to my monologue now. This sourceless voice on the wind comes back to you and says, these forces are ever moving, ever changing. The possibilities are there to confront this enemy in its place of power, yet timing must be correct. Timing is essential as these forces, this creature, this being travels amongst its troops. You must find it while it is stationary. And as that, the
Mystic Sarah, thank you.
and with your
I
thanks,
remain forever your servant.
with these final words, the the feeling of that water disappears and the light returns, and you are once again sitting in the room inside of this Elric's magnificent mansion here.
All right, guys. Good news and bad news. The good news is there is definitely a possibility that the Efreeti general will be in the keep. However, it also travels amongst the troops. And so we will need to get our timing right to catch it at the keep.
How exactly do we need to get our timing right?
That's a good question. Maybe I can do some augury when we're closer.
Maybe we infiltrate the keep and wait for it.
In the meantime, let's get out of my house.
Butch, during your scry session, did you happen to recognize any of the enslaved people there?
You didn't really. So to answer your question, there were, with a 15, it was hard to put faces to names. There were a few people that you kind of vaguely remember seeing around town, but no one that you like specifically remember. And it was more like I think I've seen that guy before.
There were no named NPCs, no.
Quest in jest. Thanks for the follow.
If we knew of any people that still resided in the town, we might be able to get that information.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine anyone surviving what's happening to that town right now.
Well, there's some, but
Lava especially.
well, it's fantasy lava. It's not real life lava. It's fantasy lava that you can actually get close to, and the gases don't kill you within. No, this is fantasy lava.
Fantasy lava?
Yeah.
That's what we're establishing. Okay.
The air quality is not terrible.
Thanks for the 2 YouTube subs we've gotten
Hell yeah.
since break.
Hey!
Phenomenal.
Now that we're all, I'm assuming, out of my house.
Yes, you all walk out of the magnificent mansion, standing now in that that probably knee to mid thigh kind of dead brown grass. That one singular tree, standing in the middle of this almost arid savanna style landscape.
Everyone gather round. Then I'm going to extend my arms out to everyone And as I'm casting the spell Windwalk, my bracers start to pulse, glow golden until, starting from the bracers and then to the rest of me, I turn into a cloud and everyone else does too.
What?
You all take on that familiar mist form once again. Are you leading the way, or who's leading the way in this gaseous form? Windwalk, sorry, not gaseous form.
Well, I assume the general would, because she said she's familiar with where the bend is.
Sure. This is the worst song ever? Hold on a second. This is literally just like
It's
white noise.
In
That's
one
just weird
note for
ambiance.
about
This is
Yeah.
called
5
Cat Sits on Keyboard.
Yeah. Let's sorry, let me change the music there because that was really annoying.
A note. Sustained.
All right. So you want the general to guide you? Was
That
that
makes sense to me.
okay? So the general's going to roll a survival check to see if they can.
I would
Get you
like to
there.
assist.
She's familiar with it. She should have advantage.
And yeah, she should. That still doesn't negate her -1 wisdom modifier.
Oh no.
So that's a 9. So you all take your
Awesome,
mist
man.
form, and you
This is
you
what
did
happens
this.
when you work in an office all day.
You did this. You all take your
It's
mist.
true.
She is a wartime general, not a ranger. All right, but you all take
She's not breaking the stereotype that officers are terrible at land nav.
exactly.
Too real. Entirely too real.
So you all take your gaseous forms and kind of lining up behind the general as she makes her way up into the air, pausing for maybe a little longer than a moment, maybe just long enough to start making some of you second guess her navigational skills. And then she starts going off in a direction. As you all start following her, I would
backseat drive.
I would like, yes, anybody who's proficient in nature, go ahead and, which I think is Butch, Gwen, and Ember.
I am not.
Oh, it's not. So just Gwen and Ember, maybe. Whoever is proficient in nature, go ahead and roll a nature check for me. So that is Arnon. You're proficient in nature. Is there anything you're not
in
proficient?
everything.
You are the most broken skilled character I've ever seen. Absolutely
What
the
he's-
most
Can I just-
broken skilled
Can I just
character.
brag for a minute though, because this is the first time I've ever beat him at a check.
I know, it is fantastic. Ember with a 22, Arnon with a 20, Gwen with a 12. So, a couple things you realize. First off, you realize that you, due to where Hymir supposedly sent you all, and your placements in the world, you know that you are slightly north, slightly west from Torchiv. As Calliope starts taking off, it's still early morning, like barely over the crack of dawn. You know that you're supposed to be going southeast, but last time you checked, the sun should not be behind you if you're going southeast.
Oh no.
I like to. Oh, right.
I'll move my fart in her general direction. Try to guide her.
So you lift up, or you kind of brush up next to her.
You lift up.
you kind of gust on up past her and kind of get her attention and start kind of maneuvering her back towards the rest of the group. It takes a second before she finally it's very hard to do this as you all are just fucking farts, you know.
Can I make an octagon?
Stop. Finally, she kind of in gaseous form admits defeat and kind of falls in behind you.
Sad fart.
I would like to try and lead.
Go ahead and roll a survival check.
Don't you start.
Oh, how about them apples?
How about a natural 20 for a fucking 30? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You're looking and you're just kind of like, wait, watching Calliope go off, and then you're like, but it's this. So by the time Arnon kind of corrals her back and corrals everybody behind you, you just start taking off in the direction towards Torchiv, and you know, compensating for what Sid told Orpheus. You compensate slightly to the east to make your way towards that bend in the river.
There's one thing I'm good at. It's this.
Overcompensating?
Yep.
So, what's the fly speed of Windwalk? Isn't it like 300 feet around?
It's stupid.
Yeah, it's 300 feet around for like an action.
So,
if you're dashing, it doubles.
yeah. So 600 feet every 6 seconds. Somebody do the math for me because I don't want to. How long it would take you guys to go roughly about 50 miles?
Are we African or European farts?
I don't know that.
Canyon.
So we're going 600.
You're going about 600 feet per round, and you have to go about 50 miles.
6,000 feet per second or per minute. So about a mile a minute.
So about a mile a minute. So about 50 minutes, roughly.
1.2.
68 miles per hour.
So a little under an hour. We'll
We get there quick.
Yeah, about a little under an hour as you traverse. You start coming, you've been going for about 30, 45 minutes at this point before you see this river for the first time. This massive river that's probably, close to a quarter mile in from one side to the other. It's a huge, wide river. This is one of the main rivers of this that feed all the way up into Shan territory as well. But you start seeing this river out on the horizon. You kind of curve your way towards it before you are. And Butch, since you are guiding, go ahead and make a perception check at advantage, please.
You got it. Come on, UI, cooperate.
Quest and Jess, thank you for the 2,640 seconds. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but we're going to go for it. 13. Okay, so it takes you have to get a little closer before you see it, but you head towards this river. You go a little out of your way with a 13. But as you're kind of cresting along, finally you come across where this river almost makes a massive S curve. From a height, you can see the full curve. It looks like it kind of comes down, it turns, it goes for about 5 miles before it turns back south. It turns west and then turns back south about 5 miles longer. But from up high, you can kind of see that this is more than likely the place, the bend in the river that Sid was talking about.
And it was that river. I'm trying to remember how far he said it was.
It's about 20 miles from Torchiv, which if you look out as you are flying, Actually, everyone, as you're flying through, make a perception check.
Perception check.
33.
Jesus Christ, Gwen. Level 16. Oh my God, Orpheus. The most Orpheus roll. All right, so that would be a 33 for Gwen, a 24 for Ember, a 29 for Arnon, a 17 for Butch, a 3 for Orpheus, and a 24 for Elric. Orpheus, you
One
don't...
of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
You
Orpheus-
see the inside of your helmet.
Yeah, you're too busy, and somehow you're still, even though you're fart form, you still see the fart helmet that you can't see through. Butch, you are a little too focused on trying to find this bend in this river. You're not really paying attention to anything else around you other than trying to find this rendezvous spot. The rest of you, it's at first more what you feel than what you see, and that is a radiating heat. Like, as you approach closer and closer to this town, the temperature drastically starts increasing. You look out as you're kind of cresting towards this river, and to your right, you see out in distance those spits of lava coming out of blackened cones, as these volcanic eruptions are happening in and around Torchiv. You look up and you see that crack in the sky, the raining, firing, molten meteors, and the flicks almost like cresting out of this open rift, licking the sky on both sides. Gwen, with a 33, you can make out the ruins of the city wall of Torchiv. You see the flows of almost like Venice canals, only molten rock, coming from a central location where the keep was, where the keep is. And looking closer, you see that the center of this town that you are way too familiar with from your time here, from the months you spent based in Torchiv. The center of this entire town has risen in a cone, almost like a massive, like, just fold of the earth, as the entirety of the city curves upward into this central spire with this molten caldera where the keep was. You see the keep sitting. You can just barely make out the keep on top of this caldera, on the edge of this caldera, with flows of lava trickling around it.
Since you very specifically said Venetian, I can only imagine that there's azers and little gondolas.
I mean, there might be. You'd have to get closer to see.
I mean, you didn't just say canals.
For me now.
Yeah, that's what's happening in my head.
Yeah.
Little flat brim hat.
You could tell me that it's not happening, Nick, and it's still happening.
No. The flat brim hat is completely engulfed in flames. And
Oh, God. Gondola. There's not a gondola.
So this is our rendezvous point?
you all approach and you do kind of hover over that kind of bend right there. Looking down, you see there are sparse trees around here. Most of it is a little bit of rolling hills that kind of build down into, or like rest, slowly descend down into this riverbed where this long, like I said, wide, probably a quarter mile at the widest, river flows through. You do see trees on both ends, willows kind of reaching over the edge, the leaves, the branches just starting to lap into the water's edge. Water rushing pretty quickly right here. You look out and you do see a few patches of rapids right where it hits this curve and curves through. You see stones where the white water is just kind of crashing. That's the word I'm looking for. Crashing over, causing small little whirlpools.
I'll go ahead and wherever there's the most cover next to the river, just go ahead and solidify.
Going down, you find right near where the curve is at its apex, you find this fairly large willow tree. You go down and kind of can maneuver down underneath the branches behind the trunk right next to the bank and feel pretty secure here to where you could solidify without being seen.
Am I the only one, or are you guys?
Oh, I follow suit.
Yeah, same.
I didn't see anything.
I make sure I grab Orpheus and pull him along.
We're all still gas, right?
I just solidified. Somebody go get a bucket and go get Orpheus. Just scoop him out of the...
Son of a gun.
Easy enough to do. You all solidify down here. If you are trying to hide, make stealth checks for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Orpheus didn't see anything. It's a pointless question for me, but was there any indication before we landed that there was people here prior?
You didn't. Oh my god!
I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know how to get rid of it. I've tried.
We could just play other copyrighted things over it.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so go in
Oh,
with
baby shark.
the 16s. Arnon with God damn it, you were so broken.
33.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to say it out loud. 33.
I love it.
Ember with the 26. Most stealthiest.
Wow.
The most stealthiest of dwarfs. Elric with a 22. Butch with a 22. Orpheus.
Orpheus didn't roll.
Oh, Orpheus is
He's very unaware of what's going on.
Orpheus, get down!
You all feel fairly confident that you are not being seen. You don't see any people in the immediate vicinity. Looking around, there doesn't appear to be anyone right here. You do notice that in this area, there are you still feel that heat. It is significantly warmer here than it should be. You do see steam vents kind of starting. Looking over around in this plain, throughout these hills, you do notice that some of the hills look slightly unnatural, almost like mounds that have quickly and rapidly kind of boiled up. You do see one of which the top of this mound has cracked open and it is releasing steam out into the air. If you look north as the river goes north, slightly west of north, you do see a large steam cloud where you can imagine one of these lava flows has hit this river and is rapidly cooling that lava, causing an immense cloud of steam to erupt. As you're standing there, looking up, you still see that crack. You almost, if you stare at it for a few minutes, you can almost see it widening inch by inch in the sky. The earth rumbles slightly below you as you see another steam vent erupt.
Oh man.
Probably
where
isn't a
the
good place to set up camp.
where the lava meets the water, is it creating cobblestone, stone, or obsidian?
Well, this isn't Minecraft, so
It's not an ask.
Orpheus is gonna put his hand in the stream, see if it feels unnaturally warm.
it does. Very much so. It's not painful, it's not uncomfortable, but it feels like it feels like a hot bath.
So it's not like body temperature.
No.
Orpheus is gonna take off his boots and stick his feet in while we wait.
Nice.
We need to handle this soon, or we're all going to burn alive.
Yep. So we're how many miles out? 20?
About roughly about 20, give or take.
Is anybody able to heal this, even if after we kill the guy?
Gwen, make a wisdom saving throw.
I have no idea.
Will that
At
take
least we
care
can
of it,
hope
or we?
A
have to
wisdom
repair
saving
it.
throw?
Yes.
The
23?
least we can
Okay.
hope for is it to stop.
What?
If druids can construct the miracle that is the wall and mesh, I imagine, give enough time, they can repair the damage to the land here.
Orpheus waves over Ember.
While you all are
Stick your
having
feet in. It's nice.
while you all are having this conversation, Gwen, in your head, you hear your father's voice. Where are you? I cannot see you.
Do I get an indication this is a message?
Yes.
Or okay. We are in Torchiv at this point.
Well, you're about 20
We
miles.
arrived at the
20 miles east of Torchiv at the rendezvous point.
Okay. I'm gonna relay that to him.
Second goes by. It's like, drop your guard this time, please. And make a wisdom saving throw.
Got it, Pop. Can I choose to
Or
fail?
you can elect to fail, yes.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm confident that it's my dad talking in my head, I'm gonna choose to fail.
All right.
If it's not my dad talking in my head, I have words for the master of the game.
I mean, if you would like to roll an insight check on the voice in your head, you can absolutely do that to see whether or not it is indeed your father.
How about a 30? Is it my dad?
Yeah, it's your dad.
Oh, dang.
Okay, great.
I thought that almost tipped over to the natural one. That would have been so much more fun.
It would have. I'm so glad it wasn't. Yeah. So
All right.
yes, I let my guard down. I choose to fail the wisdom save.
So you let your guard down, and as your father, in his way, scries on you to see your location.
Should I just get like all the hairs on the back of my neck? Stand up and I'm like, this is gross, Dad.
You hear, this is not the weirdest thing I've seen you do. No,
Oh, no.
You're not
just,
wrong.
Today.
just kidding.
It's just
kidding.
me staring up at the sky. You're not wrong.
Suddenly, a few seconds pass, and that willow tree that you're all standing under, you hear the cracking of wood coming from that willow tree as the center of it splits open. And out from the tree, out walks Casil, a handful of other soldiers. It seems like maybe probably 20 to 30 mix of Conticarian soldiers and mesh wood elf druids, followed right before the tree solidifies again by Hymir, as they all meet you underneath this tree. Hymir kind of walks over. kind of nods to Calliope, does the little, the Beastmaster hand, forearm grasp. Looks like, I'm glad to see you safe. We kept your disappearance under wraps as to not squash morale, but the rest of the army is on its way here. Currently under the, you might yell at me for this, but it's currently under the command of Captain Sid and his crew. But it felt like with me and...
What?
It felt like with me and Casil needing to jump forward and meet you all here to plan the assault. He seemed like the most capable leader at this time.
Oh no.
To which Calliope just kind of shakes her head and was like, those might have been the stupidest thing you've ever done, but I mean, I can understand why you wouldn't want to put the control of the army, in the hands of the fucking Genasi that are literally a military people, but they aren't our people, so... well, he isn't our people either.
Sid with the Riz roll.
Yeah.
He's like, I understand, but given the fact that he doesn't have a country he is loyal to, perhaps he would be the one we trust the most, as opposed to, the leaders of a foreign nation that could potentially... They have done a lot for us. I just also think that we should keep our intentions and our best interests at heart. She just kind of nods to him. Hymir walks over to you.
Put the Pyron in charge.
Hymir walks over to you and Rain, and
Sid's dismantling Social Security right now.
exactly. No, Hymir. God damn it. Hymir walks over to you and Rain. Is like, Rain, I'm glad to see you're okay. Gwen. Always glad to see you're okay, of course. I'm glad that you...
Awkward into finger guns. Awkward hug into finger guns.
I'm glad your mission was a success.
Glad
Now,
to see you're in one piece.
what's...
You...
He just raises an eyebrow at you. So, looking across to the rest of you, the rest of the army will be here in the morning. However, I feel like the invading force will grab the attention of the soldiers and the occupying force inside of Torchiv. So, Casil and I thought it best to come ahead with a small detachment and perhaps get the plan in motion before the bulk of the forces arrive and we are discovered.
Wonderful. Do you have any magic that could dampen that as I just point to Torchiv in general?
Just kind of looks and it's like, unfortunately, that is beyond my knowledge. It seems that whatever is happening here, whatever convergence, we may have to stop it at the source.
Should have known.
Kind of glances up at the sky, looks across, and he's like, the source appearing to be Rockrilt, I would assume, from the location of this specific divide.
Can this be undone?
I do not know that answer. The best thing, the thing, our best bet is to stop it before it gets to the point where the land is no longer salvageable. While it may not be as pristine and as beautiful as it once was, if this convergence can be halted, this town and the rest of the world will still at least be habitable. Maybe a little blacker at this point, but
It's fine.
The plane of fire mixing with our plane is going to turn things to ash very quickly if we don't act soon.
Could this have repercussions for the entire planet?
indeed.
Could it just steadily get warmer?
Yeah,
God damn it.
I would imagine so.
Are you asking if it's possible that global warming might occur?
Yes.
It is very possible. However, if this plane is converging on this branch, I can only assume that other branches are converging with other realities as well.
So we can open up a portal to the ice plane and counteract it.
Maybe?
We don't even know how they're opening up portals to here.
I don't think they're opening up portals. I think the plane is literally
portal,
crashing into ours.
That's what we don't know. How are they doing this?
My thoughts was more along the lines of, we know the generals you already slew and the planes that they belonged to. If this, we knew about the Efreeti, we knew of his reign inside of the fire plane. If this is happening here, then what of the Feywild, the Shadowfell, the other generals you slew, the other planes that you visited? Perhaps there are rifts other places spreading from Rockrielt that are converging those dimensions as well.
Right. We've just been concerned with things running into our plane.
This seems to be
a
the
way that we can fix this.
From what we've seen, this specific fissure seems to be the deepest, the most impactful currently of the ones that have been observed. Our assumption is because of the fact that the Efreeti was not defeated. The Efreeti still lives, and he has more than likely created some sort of conduit inside of Torchiv that is helping Titivilus bridge this gap between the planes.
Yep.
We have heard from our spies that there are other fissures emerging from Rockrielt with different effects, one of which seems to be just a blackened shadow across the sky, another some odd things happening, weird plant growth, odd technicolor lights, another...
Not the rave dimension.
I was really hoping we
Giant
were done with the Feywild.
So the shadows, could that be wasn't Barovia in the Shadowfell? Can that be Shadowfell?
Barovia as well
I imagine.
as Direfall were both in the Shadowfell.
And now Shadowfell, it seems, is just coming to us.
Wait, but we killed the dragon.
But not Strahd.
Yeah, and you killed the witches as well, but there's still... And like I said, those fissures do not seem to be as powerful as this one coming from the from the fire plane, but the fissures are still happening. The rift is still opening, just not as quickly and as chaotically and destructively as this rift to the fire plane.
Did we leave something behind? Did we miss something?
I don't know if you
Either that or this isn't going to stop until we eliminate Titivilus himself.
Yeah, it might be like a clockwork. It's been set in motion.
From what we have seen from our eyes across Conticaria, Conticaria, and this continent in general, These rifts seem to be happening regardless of, and there's certain ones to certain planes that we had no connection to whatsoever. There's storms brewing overseas, hurricanes. I believe you had an encounter with one yourself. Portals through to the water plane itself seem to be opening more frequently. There seems to be rifts happening everywhere. However, this specific one, there seems to be something different about this fire plane. Perhaps it is a beacon or some sort of conduit that was brought here by the still remaining Efreeti, causing this one to open at a much more exaggerated rate than the others.
I mean, if the generals or the conductors driving the train, oh crap, I can't use that metaphor because they don't have trains here. If they're the conductors driving the carriages, then maybe that's why it's accelerated, because the general's still in the driver's seat.
We've got to get into that keep.
Casil kind of stands up. He's like, or kind of steps forward. Well, if you are looking to infiltrate the keep, take this general out itself, I believe stealth is our best bet, and perhaps an extra set of hands would be beneficial for you.
You're volunteering.
Well, stealth and an extra set of hands are kind of my strong suit, so.
So who are we taking instead of Elric then?
You.
Oh my gosh. Look, we're not going to be underground. Elric will be fine.
If you want to do this one without me, be my guest.
How about we all sneak in and you just come hustling in?
Oh my god.
Things that happen.
We could always attempt to wind walk into the keep.
It is possible, however, the only issue with that is it does take a full minute to regenerate, doesn't it? This is Hymir, of course.
Yeah.
So, timing would be essential to getting in and finding a place where you can spend a minute uninterrupted, returning to your physical form.
Right. That, and I've already cast it on us. Casil, I would have to wait an entire day to cast it on you.
General, during your time here, do you happen to remember any secret entrances we could use to sneak into the keep?
Elric.
Perhaps
actually.
any evacuation tunnels or anything?
Elric, if I remember correctly, you and your cousin emerged from tunnels not too far from here. When you first escaped Minzo Berenson.
That's true, not far from here.
Is it possible... I'm trying to think. I, unfortunately, did not spend a lot of time here. I only kind of took over when we started the attack on Kovachliov. I do not know the layouts, the intricates, any hidden passageways or anything like that, as I was only here for a matter of months. Do you remember by chance, Elric, if those tunnels happen to go underneath Torchiv at all? Perhaps, or were they farther out to the...
I'm going to pull out the map
Ah, the
and
overlay
the-
map. Yes.
And the overlay, like the Underdark overlay map to line it up.
Underdark overlay. Hold on. Let me find that image real quick.
Because I know one of those passages went under a town. I'm just trying to remember if Torchiv was the one.
I'm trying to find the overlay. I found the two maps, but I can't find the one that actually has the both of them put together. Where the hell is it?
Overlay from like episode 10.
Yeah.
That's an oldie.
Like I said, I found the two individual papers, but I cannot find the actual overlay, like where they were together.
Right.
Let me...
I got it.
You got it?
You got
found
it?
Would you mind throwing that in Discord, please?
It's in the player stream chat. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Player stream chat. Let me pull this up real quick.
You too can see this if you subscribe to our Patreon.
So
It does look cool.
no, that would not have. So, Menzo Baronzon is basically the big giant blob right there in the middle. Torchiv is kind of the dot. Actually, no. Torchiv is shit.
It is. It is shit now. I mean, it's really gone downhill.
Yeah.
They really let themselves go.
Wait, hold on. Where is the? So there is a.
Amber, I don't suppose you. Sorry.
So if you look at the big giant dot, and then there's the tunnel that goes almost straight across, right across those rivers, that would be probably the tunnel you emerged from. It is close to Torchiv, but it would not have gone directly under the keep. You can tell from that map.
It would get us close, but not quite.
Well,
And I don't even want to think about the prospect of trying to dig the difference.
another option for you. You said you would not be able to cast that Windwalk spell until tomorrow?
Not on Casil.
Sorry, this is
You've
Casil.
Oh, this is Casil.
I know, my
Yeah.
Casil and Calliope, shockingly, the twin brother and sister sound almost the same.
Sound a little similar. Yeah.
You really need to work on your Russian nuance.
I know, right? Casil, so the enemies will be here tomorrow morning, but perhaps if we rest, we can perhaps still beat them. You know, make it in before they are spotted. Unless you want to try our hand at sneaking in through the back ways now.
Phrasing.
How amenable are you to waking up early in the morning?
I mean, I'm fine with it, but you have to imagine the kind of give and take we're playing with here. We can either... We don't know how far their eye can see. We don't know... We're not bringing a small force. There are sky ships. There are sky ships packed with soldiers. There are ships trying to make it up the river towards Torchiv as well. Up the... I can't remember the name of it. The Kati River. This is a very large force that we are summoning here. We don't know how close they will be when the garrisons in Torchiv are alerted to them approaching. So we can take the chance of waiting until the morning, but every minute we wait is our chances of being unseen decrease exponentially. So the options are we wait and try our luck, and perhaps have to deal with an alerted force, or we attempt to leave now and we attempt to sneak in ourselves without the use of this magic and just relying on our own stealth and our own abilities.
All in favor of waiting until the morning? All opposed?
We go now.
Opposed.
All right,
do it.
sneaky cheeks.
It sounds like we're going now then.
I would agree with this. I think this is the best option. We don't know when our forces will be seen and when they will be alerted. This countryside is still crawling with the Shanian forces as well as the remaining forces of Durgar and the elemental forces as well as demonic forces under the direct control of Titivilus himself.
Well, if we're going to go now, then let's go now.
All right.
All right. Is there anything that we need to prepare before we head out?
I'm ready to go.
I think so.
I could prepare a sandwich.
Always.
Should have put some tacos in your pockets.
I just realized that I haven't imported Casil since level 12.
I don't have pockets.
I've got a bag of holding
sash.
I have a sash.
All right, there we
You could have some. You sew a little pocket in your sash. Put some tacos in it.
Nick, I'm gonna. What is it? Can I roll investigation to see if my sash has had pockets this entire time?
Oh my god.
Is that like a turtle fanny pack?
It is if it has pockets.
I think it's a plastron pack. Plaster
Alright.
pack.
No,
Plaster pack.
It's a plaster.
terrible.
All right. So you all pack up your shit. Rova's like, seems like it's only been a couple days since I've seen Torchiv. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah, well,
I'm
Perfect
pretty
timing.
sure. Yeah, he just watched the Kavachliov arc, so
Funny.
nice.
With that little pun, I need to go make a Ballistables short. Remember that?
oh my god,
Oh my god. That's an oldie.
it's a blast,
Ballistables.
blast from the past. Heyo. All right, so as you all pack up, say goodbye to the forces here, Hymir, Rain, Calliope, who all say that, well, some of us are a little stealthy. We might be a little more useful when the main army attacks. Casil joins
Right.
your group, and you start heading out. What is your plan?
Don't get caught.
Stay in under as much natural cover as we can until we get close, and then drop some pass without a trace, and maybe Aurican trails fog behind us while we sneak.
Casil.
I'm going to
gosh.
cast skill empowerment to empower my stealth.
There you go.
Casil also says to you, if it comes to it, and once we get close, I do have the capability of once a day instantly transporting myself and one other person up to 500 feet. So if we need to,
Ooh.
I don't know, it is an option that we have to have the ability to transport us instantly, me and one other person at least. So I have to be able to see where I'm going, of course, but
That sounds
Naturally.
like a get out a Torchiv spell.
It could be very much so, yes. But if it came down to it, we could use it to infiltrate as well. Elric, I believe you have a similar ability as well, maybe a little more refined than my once a day, but...
Similar.
And as he's saying that, you notice this cloak hanging off of his back, and he kind of like lifts the side of the cloak, and you can see from inside almost this like gleaming like purple and blue, almost nebulous look kind of pattern that seems to be moving inside of the cloak.
Nice cloak.
Thank you.
The proper response is thanks, it has pockets.
It has one large pocket. Thanks. It has one large pocket that me and one other person can step into.
Nicely done.
Elric, you would recognize Elric and possibly Arnon and Orpheus, specifically because of your Arcana. You would recognize this as a Cape of the Mountebank, which allows basically one use of Dimension Door per day.
One's better than none.
Cape of what?
Cape of the Mountebank.
Above board, I'm keeping track. Hymir is not with us, or
no,
came with
Hymir
us?
is staying with the force with the rest of it.
Okay, so it's just Casil
Yes.
in the normal group. Okay.
Gwen, are you gonna shapeshift?
Not yet. Can.
Hey, where do your clothes go when you shapeshift?
They magically,
Merge with you.
yeah.
Asking the
Come
real
on.
questions.
Haven't you seen? They just kind of like.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I
Where?
just change into it and then I'm back. I don't like come out of wild shape naked. Like they're still there.
So where do they go?
She puts it in the mix.
You imagine it's like the clothes are a part of me. The clothes change into the animal too. Like I can't use my stuff when I'm the animal
Yeah,
because it's all part of me.
but where do they go?
So, as you all leave this encampment, I'm assuming you are all trying to stealth your way closer to Torchiv.
Every animal she shifts into has a marsupial pouch that holds her clothes.
We have...
Oh my god.
All right. Elric casts skill empowerment.
Yes.
Are the rest of you just stealthing, or what's the plan?
Do we want pass without a trace right now?
Yes.
Probably not till we get to the
Yep.
city.
Yep.
Well, it's 20
Well, I
miles,
can cast
right?
it more than
20
once.
miles, yeah.
Yeah, it's roughly 20 miles to get to the city.
Let's just stay in the brush until we get close.
Okay. For this first approach, I would like everyone to roll a stealth check.
Do we get any bonuses for staying in the brush?
No.
Awesome.
Ulrich, your sneaky cheeks are contagious. Is that dice? Or die? Just
All right, so we have Gwen with a 5, Ember with a 24, Elric with a 21, Casil with a 21, Arnon with a 31, Orpheus with a 7, and we need a Butch.
Orpheus and I are
Swear
just
I rolled
loudly
it.
playing patty cake.
Butch with a... It said 7.
7 on the die, but it didn't come up.
No, it didn't. So 7 plus what's your stealth modifier? 2, so 7, 8, 9. Okay, so luckily, since you're still far enough out and you are in the brush and you do have literally everyone else, well, it was kind of split. You had 3 and 4, but the 4 that succeeded really succeeded. So
Real good.
as you're walking through this brush, through this as you're approaching, Gwen, you're kind of hunkered down a little bit, trying to stay low. After you've made it probably about 5-6 miles out, Gwen's kind of hunkered down a little bit, and suddenly you get like this Charlie horse in your leg, and you're like, "Gah!" And you all hear her just kind of like groan out a little bit and kind of start standing straight up. But luckily, Arnon, you didn't even notice him right next to you. As you start standing up, Arnon reaches out and like grabs you and pulls you back down before you see a few like things flying over you. These like wisps of smoke and fire, like small little birds or something.
Thanks, Arnon.
Just stab her with a fork.
Might make me forget the cramps.
Sorry, I don't even know if you guys can understand me today.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
So you all approach. You get to where you are able to see the ruined wall and the canals of lava. The heat almost unbearable the closer you get.
Now hold on. As a turtle, I'm cold-blooded. And when we were in the frozen wastes of hell, I was very negatively affected. But now, I've got plenty of energy. Just say it.
Either that or you're going to cook yourself without realizing it, like a lobster.
Yay! A lobster.
Or one of those frogs that just jumps in. It's not that warm gives you... It's the rapid change of temperature that negatively affects you.
All right.
That's how cold-blooded creatures work. As long as it's a gradual change, you're fine. But it's that instant reaction. And the negative effect of you was because you weren't there, and I needed a reason why Butch wasn't there. Because I didn't want to.
Butch don't like the cold.
That's fair.
But
And waiting.
we will say
That's
that
why
it's like easing your toe into a warm pool. So it doesn't affect Butch's cold-bloodedness. If anything, Butch is less affected by this because of the fact that you gradually transitioned into it. However, it's very, very hot the closer you get. But you do see the lava flows. You do see that central peak with the keep resting on the edge.
So we've been in Dis and many other layers of hell. Is it hotter than hell here?
It's on par, if not
Hot as hell.
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
not, maybe a little hotter than hell, slightly hotter than hell.
Okay.
But it's not a dry heat because of the steam vents, right?
Right. It's a very moist heat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, a moist heat as we head to the mounds.
That's the good stuff.
Somebody fucking kill me.
Don't say that out loud.
Where's that book?
Yep.
So, as you see the walls approach and you notice that now the closer you get, the less brush and foliage there are. You see in replace of trees and grass, you see charred husks, trunks that have been barely left standing, just completely charred to the bone. The ground here is a like alien landscape of pot-marked cooled lava rock and obsidian glass. You look around and you see these lava rivers in the distance flowing through. Everyone make perception checks for me.
Orpheus is gonna scoop up some of the ash and kind of give himself some eye black. Try to see if he can see a little better through the steam.
Roll for eye black.
Come on.
Rolled a
Alright.
6 for a 22.
It didn't
Orpheus
work.
got
You
some of the ash
you got
in his
some of
eyes.
it in your eye, yeah. Ember with an 18, Arnon with an 18, Gwen with a 22, Elric with a 23, and Orpheus with a 3. Yeah, Orpheus. You see Orpheus
I
like
haven't had a single
we
double
miss
digit
Butch's
roll
again?
all
yeah,
night.
Butch didn't roll again. You see
I lost connection to the server.
You see Orpheus trying to put the eye black on, and then suddenly you see him like blinking rapidly and rubbing his eyes because it went directly into his pupil.
Obsidian.
Just scratches Orpheus. Don't
Someone help him.
face.
Someone help him.
Gwen and Elric specifically, you look around and you do see walking around the perimeter of these walls are those little flame dwarves and occasionally the Azers. And occasionally you see, if you stand there on the edge of the brush for a while and kind of try and clock the movements of these patrols, every once in a while you'll hear the and the rumble on the ground and you look up and see one of those giants walking past. And you'll see another battalion of these Azers, 1 or 2 flame elementals, fire elementals, walking through.
Definitely point those out quietly. I see him.
As you're standing, hiding on the edge here, watching all of these, what are you doing? What is your plan?
My plan is to follow Arnon
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because he's really good
Y'all
at
want-
finding his way through
We can
cities.
see the
Following
keep.
Pass
the
without a
leader.
trace.
Yeah, pass without a trace and sneak towards the keep.
All right. I'm going to remove Rain and Calliope from the map. All right. So pass without a trace. Everybody make their stealth checks. Come on, Foundry. I see all the rolls, but there it is. All right, stealth checks. So, Gwen with a 24, Butch with an 18, Elric with a 32, God damn it, Arnon. Arnon with a 42.
Oh, I'm not even rolling at advantage. I fucking forgot my cloak.
Oh, god damn it.
Ember with a 39, Conceal with a 28, and Orpheus with a 15. You all see.
That was a 4 on the dice.
You all feel very confident of your stealth ability. Even Orpheus, who may or may not actually be confident, but that's beside the point.
Even Orpheus.
So,
Shush, Tua, shush.
as you all stand there on the edge looking over this barren wasteland towards what was once your home, how do you
We're gonna build a
approach?
tower here.
How do you approach?
I mean, we can see the keep, right?
You can see the keep. The keep is in the middle of the town. The town, to say town is generous. This is more or less a ruin at this point.
A shithole.
It has been devastated by war, by the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, as well as the Crimson Maw and Strahd. It has been...
Oh, man, it was that battle.
Yeah, it has also been, decimated by a convergence with the fire plane as well, so...
I mean, I'm going to be sticking to cover as much as I can heading towards the keep.
Does Arnon up there, does he see any, like, signs of booby traps? Or other security measures laid out?
Yeah, is there security?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
$14.
I mean, you know what Gwen mentioned about the different patrols coming through?
Yeah.
You don't notice signs from this distance of any kind of traps or anything else. Other than these patrols that seem to be cycling through the groups of Azers and the few fire giants that walk through, a few elementals here and there, but if you time it right and you sit there and watch for a little while, you think you can start to see a pattern of their patrols. And while it's a few hundred yards from where you're sitting right now in cover to the outer wall of Torchiv, you believe if you time it just right, you can make it there between patrols.
Yeah. Now the wall, is it still intact? Or is it crumbled?
No, it's crumbled. Like there's sections that are still intact, but the majority of it, there's spots that it is not a functioning wall anymore. It is a ruin.
Yeah, all right. So we'll do that. And then continue to stop, observe, undercover, and make our way towards the keep.
All right. With those stealth checks, we'll say you make it, you stop, you observe, you find that first break in the patrol that you feel confident in, and you start going. And you go. The entire team gets up with Casil and makes its way to the wall. I would like everyone for this roll to make your way, since this is an active, like, trying to cross a few hundred yards in a short distance of time while still being stealthy. I would like everyone, you choose athletics or acrobatics to cross this distance.
Which one should I choose?
How far is it?
Rolling?
Yes, everyone rolls. You're probably trying to roughly, we'll say 150 yards. Green giant.
Wynn's fucking acrobatic as hell. Thanks,
Priscilla, thanks, buddy.
Oh, big
And
money,
it's
big
not-
money.
This isn't. We aren't under dim light, are we?
Not really.
Somebody stop me.
All right, so that is Gwen with a 22, natural 20, Arnon with a 20, Ember with a 19, Elric with an 8, Orpheus with a 14. Oh no.
Oh, no.
I have a plus 11 and rolled a 3.
Butch's numbers still didn't pop up. That was
Oh, honey.
what was that?
You rolled a 2.
I don't know. I mean, I rolled athletics.
All right.
Yeah, it was-
cooking my
Maybe I
dice
got
tonight.
disconnected again.
Yeah, apparently.
You rolled athletics. It was what showed up on the dice? Was it a 2 or 3? I can't remember.
It was a 2.
It was a 2. Oh wait, is that it? Oh, there it is. 15. And finally, Casil is going to roll. Do we do the +1 athletics or the +10 acrobatics?
I mean, come on.
Hard to know. Hard to know.
Natural 20.
God. Okay.
Casil just starts fucking Naruto running through, like, tiptoes, jumping across fucking boulder to boulder. As you all start sprinting across, you get about halfway there, and Elric, there is a loose piece of stone or obsidian. You're not quite sure. You don't see it as you step down, and it gives way under your foot, and you start tumbling. Make a dexterity saving throw, please.
You stepped on a Lego.
Oh my God. Dexterity saving throw?
Yes, please.
Am I close enough to help?
No.
Oh no.
That is a 1. Elric, you lose your balance and you just slam face first right into the ground, taking
Straight into the caldera.
exactly. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage and bludgeoning and piercing damage as these pieces of obsidian kind of scratch into you and you slam into this. And Elric is now face first in the middle, halfway across this distance.
Can I grab him?
You want to grab him?
Elric, you remember like 5 minutes ago when he said you should be in gaseous form?
Real quick, go ahead and make an athletics check to see if you can grab him real quick.
Let's see if it actually roll. Clicking it now.
6
roll?
plus... Yeah, I got a 6 on here. It didn't give me your total, though. Should 6
plus 9 is
plus
15.
9.
15. All right, so you reach down and you grab Elric and kind of pull him to his feet, and you start rushing over. Right when you start to see the flaming heads of these Azor kind of start showing or coming around a corner again.
Cast Greater Invisibility.
We just got another raid of 4 people by Dungeon Delvers Group. Thank you for the
Huzzah!
raid. You cast invisibility.
Hey.
Did you say you cast invisibility on the 2 of you?
That Greater Invisibility that covers anything I'm carrying.
Greater invisibility?
I don't have regular invisibility.
Okay. Greater invisibility. It covers anything you're carrying, not any one you're carrying. So greater invisibility
come
will
on.
only be you. You can.
Elric's
Are
like,
you serious?
But
Yes,
he's
I'm
just a little
serious.
elf.
So is that what you're doing, or are you doing something else?
Yeah, I'm casting Greater
You cast
Invisibility because I
greater-
assumed it would cover what I'm carrying.
You cast greater
But if
invisibility.
he wears Elric,
Elric, you are standing there now, kind of like being propped up by this invisible butch. Greater invisibility also only lasts a minute. You guys are standing there as this group
Standing?
of Azor start walking through. I'm assuming you're bolting. You're running.
Running.
Yeah, I thought we
Immediately.
were running across.
You were, but then he tripped and fell on his face, and you picked him back up. So you start running.
Yeah, I grabbed him, throw him over my shoulder. Let's go.
It takes an action, but yeah, that's what we're doing.
All right. Hey, we're getting subs like crazy.
Hey, let's go.
Thanks, Sam.
Yeah, it says anything that
subs.
anything the target's wearing or carrying is invisible.
Yeah, anything, not any one.
Okay.
All right.
We're making that distinction right now.
So it's
All right.
inanimate objects, not people.
Okay.
So you are running
Knock them
across here. As you can go ahead, the 2 of you make stealth checks. Butch at advantage because of your invisibility.
Hooray.
I'm just picturing Elric, next to an invisible butch with volcanic glass sticking out of his face, blood streaming down his.
That was an 8 and a 10 on the die.
nice.
So 10 would be a 22, 32 because the pass without a trace. So 32 for Butch. Elric, what's your stuff?
No, it's a 22.
Oh, it's 22. Sorry, because it added the 10 to your.
Yeah, it added the 10.
All right, so 22 for Butch. Elric is Jesus.
28.
28. Does it add the? You have a. Your stealth is ridiculous.
That's the skill empowerment and the pass without a trace.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Otherwise, it would not have been great.
He's more stealthy than the invisible guy.
All right. So
Magically.
28 and 22. So you guys you get up, you start running across, you see these Azor showing up, and you kind of duck into the shadows just in time. The shadows of this large boulder that's sitting right there in the middle of this path, right as they crest. You kind of wait for a few minutes as they crest. Your invisibility fades, but you're still in the shadow of this boulder. As they fade around, or as they continue around out of sight, the two of you get up and bolt towards the wall where you join up with the rest of your team right there. As you all are standing here, hiding under this scorched, broken ruin of a wall, the ash and dust choking you, the heat, sweat pouring from you, ash and dirt just smeared across your faces, looking in towards the volcanic ruin that was Torchiv. That is where we will pick up next week. So, before we go, thank you to everyone who rated, all the new chatters, all the new followers, subscribers, everyone. Awesome to have you here. Really hope you join us again next week. We are here every Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern time till about 11:30 Eastern time at twitch.tv/thosenatural1s and youtube.com/@thosenatural1s. Come on back, see what happens. All of our previous episodes are available at youtube.com/@thosenatural1s. We're at episode 135. We're getting close to the end of this campaign, but you have plenty to go back and watch if you liked what you saw here. First few episodes does take us a little bit of time to get in our groove, but I think we got a pretty good thing going here. And also, if you like our story but don't really like the whole Discord thing, well, that's all right. Tune in next Friday, the 28th, where we'll be our monthly sitting in a room on the other side of that wall. That's why I keep pointing over here. Rolling real dice, sitting at a table together like D&D was meant to be played. The more support we get from all of you, the more often we can play in person. So, thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for subscribing, for following. And thanks for the raids to everybody. And we will see you next week,
Where hopefully we won't roll a natural one crossing the street.
Yeah. Hey, Rova, you've
The
got
rest of us won't.
Rova, you still got like 100 episodes to watch before next week. So you got plenty of homework to do.
Plus one shots.
Plus the one shots. Yeah.
Plus one
He
shot
was watching Druid Daddy now.
Yeah, he was. All right, guys.
That's a good one.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
All right, guys. We will see you next week.